6:48, time for the morning rush. We are continuing to follow the fires in Los Lunas. Valencia County leaders are now calling the Cotton Fire and Cotton 2 fire combined as the Desert Willow Complex fire. Now, last check, that fire is at 260 acres in size and 0% contained. City and county leaders, they are urging displaced residents and evacuees to head to the Daniel Fernandez Recreation Center.
Meanwhile, we're hearing from Los Lunas residents who have been displaced by that blaze. On Saturday afternoon, Gary Hurt said he heard someone pounding on his door telling him his backyard was on fire. He immediately got his wife and 5 kids out of the home and on their way to safety. Luckily, Hurt's home was spared from the flames.
Crews are still battling the buck fire that is burning west of Socorro. As of this morning, that blaze is around 57,000 acres and containment is now at 88%. Authorities are still urging the public to avoid New Mexico Road 163 as the crews try to establish fire lines. Now, the Continental Divide hiking trail is also closed. Josh.
Well, we're going to see that monsoon moisture really moving into the state today with some cooler temperatures through the middle of the week, bringing in some very heavy rainfall and some flooding conditions that are expected to move across the state as a whole. I'll have more details in just a little bit.
Meanwhile, in Grant County, fire crews are working on the Trout Fire. This morning, it's grown to nearly 47,000 acres and is 22% contained. Now, officials are warning nearby residents about flash flooding. Highway 152 is now open and Mimbres has been moved to a set status.
Meanwhile, the State Department of Homeland Security and Emergency Management is now getting ready for the risk of flash flooding across the state this week. Because of that, swift water teams from Sandoval County, Las Cruces, Santa Fe, and the New Mexico National Guard are going to be stationed near the communities that are expected to experience the burn scar flooding.
Some New Mexicans are responding to the Trump administration's attacks. Yesterday, dozens of protesters showed up outside the Nuclear Museum in Albuquerque, saying the president's actions were uncalled for and detrimental to peace. There have been messages of support. New Mexico GOP members posting on social media saying the strikes were necessary. Josh.
We are going to see more sunshine here across the Albuquerque metro throughout the day today. Temperatures climbing into the low 90s, but as we head through the week, we'll see more shower chances as well as some cooler temperatures in place here in the metro.
Construction is underway in Old Town Albuquerque. This in the effort to reduce traffic in the area. The city is investing about $1.3 million to add a new roundabout to Mountain Road. The project is scheduled to run through October with the goal of being complete by Balloon Fiesta time.
One Florida business is providing employment opportunities for people with autism. Rising Tide has more than 100 employees across 3 locations, and over 80% have autism. Workers say the car wash has become a place where they've learned valuable skills and have found friends. Josh.
All right, let's get a look at that morning drive. Maps are clear at this time. No major accidents or slowdowns. And Tracker is headed north on I-25 near Manal.
A graduating class in New York has accomplished a unique feat. The class of 2025 at Plainview Old Bethpage John F. Kennedy High School will have 445 graduates, including 15 sets of twins. Those twins and their classmates had rehearsal ahead of their graduation ceremony over the weekend. All of those siblings are fraternal twins.
All right, time now for the 5 facts.
At number 5, construction is underway in Old Town Albuquerque in the effort to reduce traffic in the area. The city is investing about $1.3 million to add a new roundabout to Mountain Road. That project is a part of a series of infrastructure improvements to the area. The new roundabout will provide a widened crossing for users to cross from the rail trail Tigway Park to the Old Town area. The project is scheduled to run through October with the goal of being complete by Balloon Fiesta.
And number 4, New Mexicans are sharing their reactions to the Trump administration's attacks. Yesterday, dozens of protesters showed up outside the Nuclear Museum in Albuquerque, saying the president's actions in Iran were uncalled for and detrimental to peace. There have been messages of support, however. Some New Mexico GOP members posting on social media saying the strikes were necessary. Meanwhile, organizers say there will be more protests in coming days.
And at number 3, we are going to see more monsoon moisture making its way into the state today and throughout the week. We are at a 6 for our monsoon meter here in the Albuquerque metro today. We do expect to see very heavy rainfall across many areas of the state, as well as some burn scar flash flooding coming in later this evening and throughout the week.
At number 2, the State Department of Homeland Security and Emergency Management is now preparing for the risk of flash flooding across the state this week. According to the department, burn scar areas will be at a very high risk for flooding through Wednesday. Swift water teams from Sandoval County, Las Cruces, Santa Fe, and the New Mexico National Guard will be stationed near communities that are expected to experience burn scar flooding. In Ruidoso, self-filled sandbags can be picked up at the Ruidoso Convention Center and Wingfield Park. In Grant County, sandbags were delivered to the boat ramp at Lake Roberts and the San Lorenzo EMS building yesterday.
And at number one, we are continuing to follow the fires in Los Lunas that have now affected hundreds of residents near the Carson Park area. Valencia County leaders there are now calling the Cotton Fire and Cotton 2 Fire the Desert Willow Complex Fire. Well, last night the Valencia County Sheriff said that they have about 150 firefighters on scene and say that more could be arriving in the coming days. Now, at last check, the fire is 260 acres in size and 0% contained. Crews are expected to continue working throughout the week, but with possible rain tomorrow, it could make it easier. Evacuations will most likely remain in place until tomorrow. City and county leaders are urging displaced residents and evacuees to head to the Daniel Fernandez Recreation Center. That is where they can speak with the Red Cross about what to do next.